Hi, it's Angela Shaver, Stampin' Up Independent Demonstrator from Kansas. And surprise, I am here live today. But I'm still not going to be able to monitor your comments as we go. I will definitely check on them at the end of the recording and as you're watching the recording, please send comments. I will definitely be checking up on them. I am trying out my brand new Archon Pro camera stand for the first time to do videos, and I can't quite figure out how to have it face me for a minute and then turn down. So I did set it up to tape the most important part, which is card making. So let's get started. What I have here is the Wonderful Moments stamp set, which is what we're using for February. And this is week 3. So we are going to make a Christmas card. Now this is a very similar design to the first card in this online class, which was a Happy Birthday Girl, but this uses 3 strips of DSP and not just one. So I'm going to set my sample aside and we're going to get started creating. I have a piece of the real red cardstock cut 4 1/4 by 11, and we will fold that in half using the bone folder. To make a card base that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I'm going to set that aside because we are going to use Old Olive to make a card front. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have 3 strips of the from the Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper, and I thought that I had this one cut long enough, but it does not appear that it's going to work. We're going to start it fairly low. That's what you do. You put them where they work. You make changes and adjustments as you create so that you end with a pretty amazing project. And I'm using the Tombow, which is the multi-purpose adhesive glue. And it's still going to be off just a smidge, but that's alright. We'll just trim the edges. And then I'm going to put some Tombow directly on the Old Olive card front and put the next piece of the DSP, and then the final piece we'll do the same thing. We're just gonna put it here, and I have to decide which way I want this. I think we're going to do it this way and put the deer at the bottom of the card front. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my Stampin' trimmer And we're just going to cut off a smidge. We were going to do that anyway to make sure that we didn't have any overhanging designer series paper. To me, that's the best way to get it exactly how you want it, is just set it all up and then trim it. So there we did one side, and now we'll do the other. And there we have our card front. I'm going to set this aside because we're going to be doing a little bit of stamping. I have a piece of the Whisper White cardstock cut at 2 by 4, and this is what we will be stamping our girl on. I just realized I didn't even get out the bag, but I'll do that in a second. Make sure it has enough ink and give it a little more if it doesn't seem to. And then I'm just going to set her right about there. And we will also be stamping her dress or using her dress from designer series paper. And so we will stamp her again on this piece of designer series paper and cut her out, cut the dress out here in a minute. I just realized I forgot to grab my scissors. So I will see if my son can go get them for me so that here in a minute when we're ready, there will be scissors. Noah. I'm going to go ahead and get out the gift bag. All right. And then we're going to stamp the gift bag both in her hand and on a piece of designer series paper. I'm trying to see exactly what you can see. My scissors are missing, so I'm not quite sure which scissors I will end up with, but they're missing at this moment. I'm going to line up the gift bag with her hand and stamp that, and then I'm going to grab a piece of designer series paper and stamp it there. And I think I will just keep stamping for now until a pair of scissors can be found. Put the sentiment at the very bottom of the card front. make sure it's the right direction. Okay, set that aside. And then on the card interior, we will be adding a strip of designer series paper along the bottom. And then I will be stamping a Christmas sentiment. My Christmas stamps are from the Star of Light stamp set. Okay, well, I need a pair of scissors. Looks like I'll be going on a scissors hunt later. And there we have the sentiment in the card interior. Alright. My scissors, well, not my scissors, but a pair of scissors have arrived. And so I will show you how I am going to do some paper piecing and get this all together. First thing I'm doing is cutting out the gift bag, the section that I'm going to glue on the image. And I'm also going to cut out the dress. Trying to think what exciting updates I have for you that'll make it more fun to watch me cut out stamped images. I am currently working on updating my blog, and I will get that information to you as soon as it's done. It's pretty exciting, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's also a celebration, so you can, any qualifying order in increments of $50, so like 50, 100, 150 before tax and shipping, will earn you some new free celebration items, and there are some new ones that just came out available from February 15th through the end of March. Alright, I have cut out my little paper pieces, and I'm just adding some glue and then gluing them to my other stamped image, and then I will finish by coloring in the other areas of my girl with the markers. I mostly am going to use blends, but I don't have a real red in the blends, and so that is what I'll be using my real red Stampin' Up marker to color in the tissue paper in the top of her gift bag. And then I'll be using my blends to color in her arms, legs, hair. I think I have a black Stampin' Up marker that I'll be using for her shoes. And while I color, we can just talk some more about what's coming up. I will be having some online classes available that you can purchase online. They will have videos and PDFs. I don't know when the classes that are exclusive to my blog will be showing up, but I do already have one on there focusing for the different seasons of the year. And I have one that should be up this week featuring either cats or dogs or both. It's the Happy Tales and 9 Lives bundles that it features. But whatever you have, if you have anything, you love cats and dogs and want to check it out, the information will all be on my website. If you live close to El Dorado, Kansas, I have my monthly card class coming up next week. We will be doing some heat embossing and also a twist and pop fancy fold card, and using the frog from the Celebration series. And you need to RSVP by this weekend if that is something that you want to do. I'm seeing that there are little edges of my girl's dress that I cut a little too short. But I have an old olive marker that will just help finish off some of these edges and not make her look like she has a white slip peeking out. Okay, got a little happy to put the ivory away because I'm going to want to use it for blending some more after I put the bronze on her legs. I want it to look more like she has pantyhose on. And I'm also going to be putting some bronze in her hair. just some highlights of the ivory. Okay. Now I will glue my white piece of paper to a shaded spruce piece that I have cut 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then we will start putting the whole card together. I'll be putting the card interior on the inside. And then the card front will go on the outside. But glue is not wanting to behave itself today. There we go, just a little bit. I don't know if it got too cold or what exactly. We're still having winter here in Kansas. Although out there today it looks mighty gorgeous. And it doesn't feel too bad either. Okay, and finally, I will take the stamped image and put some dimensionals on the back. There we have it. The Wonderful Moments card. Week 3. This is a Christmas card. And come back next week if you know anyone that is expecting a baby. That is what we will be working on next week. A congratulations card for expectant mothers. So I will see you all back here next Thursday at 4 p.m. Central. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and click and join my site so you know every time I do a new video. If you're watching this, the replay after it was live, please know that I will be checking on comments, and I will see you all next week.